Hello, fabulous people. This is the Together podcast, and this is the place where Cherise and I come together to help you get it together for your everyday business life. So we hope you enjoy. All right, so I think we got it all. I think we clicking on all cylinders. Hallelujah.
Yes.
All right, so I was just telling Cherise, everybody, and good morning. Happy Tuesday.
Good morning.
So
Happy Tuesday,
today
everyone.
is March 12th, which means we are really on kind of that downslope of the last first quarter. All right. And so let me just go ahead and say, if you guys have not reviewed your goals yet for quarter number one to see where you are, had you progressed or had you not progressed, then please this week do it so we can do like a strong finish for quarter number two. I'm sorry, for quarter number one, that will take us hopefully into a strong start for quarter number two.
Yes.
So I am excited, so terribly excited, which is why I'm a little unprepared today, is because I was working on finishing my coaching website and getting that offer up. So I still have to get my freebie hooked up and pick what freebie I'm going to do. So, but aside from that, it's up. So everybody who's out there, Cherise, did I just lose you? I surely did. Okay, she'll be back in a minute. Anybody who's out there, I haven't gotten it ultimately proofread yet, but it is up. So NatalieElliott.com, which is NatalieElliott, NatalieElliott.com for my coaching website. So I'm so excited that that's up. And so let's see. What else do I want to remind you of today? I want to make sure that you guys are starting imperfectly and not waiting for the perfect whatever to get started. And so I've been talking to a couple of people lately and they're like, oh, I'll start when I have this, or, oh, I'll start with that when I have that. And you have to start exactly where you are. And so if you intend to do YouTube videos, start doing YouTube videos now. It doesn't matter that your camera isn't perfect. It doesn't matter that you don't have the perfect lighting. You do need to have good sound. So please do whatever you need to do to get good sound, and then start recording. Even if you don't know what to say, between what you want your ideal client to hear and ChatGPT, you should be able to figure out what to say. So, all right, Cherise is back. Welcome back, Cherise.
Thank you.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. All right, so, okay. So I was just telling the people that they needed to start where they are, just in case anybody out there needed to hear that and remember that, to start where you are. And then we were going to talk about something with communication today. Did you figure out what it was yet?
Well, remember, so it was actually about last week we talked about dating women.
I think I was going to talk about that kind of leading from behind.
Okay, there we go. There it is.
Okay, so all right, so this will, because we were specifically talking to ladies about dating, especially when you're in the entrepreneur space.
Alpha,
taking the time and really figure out whether you were going to date in the masculine energy or whether you're going to date in the feminine energy.
Yeah.
And then we were saying, if you were going to date with intention from the feminine energy, that but you still wanted to have a little bit of kind of control in it and what you were doing to make sure you were, if we use such good terminology, on the hunt to receive. That's what the word
on the hunt to receive.
On the hunt to receive.
Right.
All right. Yes. And so what does that look like, being on the hunt to receive? So that looks like you specifically dressing for your ideal person that would be attracted to you. And different men are going to be attracted to different looks. And so if you want the guy who's going to be like the vegan and does yoga, he's probably going to be attracted to more of a bohemian look. You know, if you want the guy who works out in the gym every day and is really a gym rat, then he's probably going to be more attracted to a girl who's in gym clothes. If you want the guy who is like the CEO type, then just think about the type of woman that he would want to have on his arm, which is going to be very polished, hair, nails, and keeping that like done. All right. So once you kind of identify what he's looking for, then you're going to represent that. I would like that to be as close to your authentic self as possible. Mm-hmm. And so we want your authentic self just polished a different way, just polished up a little bit in that mode. But I don't want you doing something that you can't sustain. Please don't do anything that you can't sustain. It needs to be sustained, because whatever you did to get them, if y'all haven't heard yet, is what you got to do to keep them. Yeah. And so, I actually just had a client the other day who was like, she wouldn't keep her nails and stuff done. And so I just had to let it go. Oh, all right. Well, that's the way he met her. And that was the expectation, because he wanted a woman to look a certain way on his arm. Yeah. So professional, I think, high six figures, I'm going to say. Yeah. High six figures, definitely over the $500,000 mark. And so he wanted the person on his arm to look a certain way to represent. And so a lot of men feel like that. Like, part of my success is that I got you. And so you should look like I'm successful. Yeah. All right. Yeah. But some guys don't feel like that at all. And so really think about, just like you would think about your ideal client in business, think about like the ideal guy that you're trying to attract. Yes. And where would he be? So if you are wanting kind of the Joe the plumber type, the guy who's just going to go to work and come home and hang out at the bar to watch the game, then that's where you need to be, at the bar watching the game. So football season in Georgia is huge, so that's not hard to do at all. Basketball is pretty big. And so pick your sport and go for it. And then how do you be on the hunt to receive is you putting yourself in their line of sight and smiling and waiting for them to come to you. That's if you want that alpha masculine male, the one who's going to come to you. Yeah. If you go to him and you approach him first, then I just need you to know that puts you in the alpha position. Now you're the one who's leading. You started off leading and you're leading. And so, and if he doesn't approach you, you got to be okay with that, because you're in the receiving position. So if you've done put yourself in his line of sight, if you've done smiled and twirled your hair and did all the things that a girl needs to do to get his attention, and he's not paying you any attention, then you got to understand, okay, he not checking for me for whatever reason. He not checking for me. All right. I would say make sure in Atlanta specifically, and it's probably like this in other cities as well, different men live on different sides of town. You have a completely different guy that lives in Sandy Springs than you do that lives in Jonesboro. And so also identify what side of town the guy is hanging out. So let me think about would you want a guy that you're dating to take you to Applebee's or to take you to Chops? And so think about that with that kind of side of town you want to date on and where you want to be out looking. Because in Atlanta, it's very different. You're going to get very different people on very different sides of town. So, all right, Cherise, you still with me? Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Cherise's thing today. So let's see. Also figure out your hobbies and what hobbies may get you into his line of sight as well. The guy who watches football games may or may not be the same guy that's a gamer. And so figure that out and conduct yourself accordingly. So I think the biggest thing is when you go on the hunt with intention as to who you want to attract. All right, that's all I got. I need y'all to ask questions, but Cherise is gone. And I can't really think of anything else right now. I think getting your heart, mind, and spirit right. So maybe doing some type of affirmations or meditation before you go out on the hunt would be a good thing to do. Making sure that you're operating in your feminine energy. And so if you are going on the hunt to receive, operating in like taking some time and making sure you're really embodying your feminine energy. And so all along the way, like when you walk in, if a guy walks you to the table, you're gonna like smile and say thank you so much. Just really making sure that you're in that feminine flow. And there's a couple of ways you can do that. You can just kind of sit there and think, what does feminine energy look like, feel like, and then kind of just take a few steps across the room, operating and flowing in feminine energy. You can listen to some songs that make you feel a little bit more feminine. There are definitely some songs out there that will do it for all of us, that will put us more in a kind of a feminine receiving mode. Right now, I'm listening to a lot of Avery Sunshine. If y'all haven't heard of her, she's excellent. And so that's definitely put me into more of a feminine receiving mode. If I want to be in a masculine mode, I'm listening to Ludacris Move Out the Way. And so just identify before you go out kind of what music will help you get in that vibe. There's also certain conversations with certain people that will put you in more of a feminine vibe. So, all right, Cherise is making it back. Okay,
I'm back.
you back. All right. So
Yeah.
I was saying while you left, I was talking about making sure if you're going on the hunt to receive, making sure that you take a couple of minutes, maybe do some meditation to make sure you're really operating in that feminine energy and then being in that feminine energy. And then I'm named a couple of things that you can do. Okay, you're on here twice. Is it?
I know, because for some reason the computer was acting.
Okay. It's okay. All right.
Let me jump off one of these. And let me jump off the phone. Hold on one second. And I'm gonna leave the computer. Okay. I'll stay on the phone because that computer was shaky this morning. Okay.
All right. Even though you really didn't hear me, any questions?
I did. I could hear you on the phone because I was on Facebook. So now I can't be on Facebook with those that are commenting because I'm on the phone. So we'll be okay.
I really got to get that figured out. And it's really just a matter of me sitting down with 2 hours to get it figured out so that we're doing this restream differently so that it somehow, so it's not through the Zoom, but through restream so we can see the comments. I got to get that. Okay. Maybe I'll get that done on my time. So yeah. So any questions that you can think of?
Yeah. So I have a lot to say about that. So there's a huge correlation with attracting your clients, and your man, know. So here's the thing. It's deciding, the woman that you want to become to attract all the things that you want to attract. Right? Mm-hmm. So when you think about first, number one, okay, so who do I want to become? You're always becoming, no matter what, whether you think about it or not, you're always becoming. Whoever you were in your past, you became who you are today through a path that you chose, right? Mm-hmm. So now that we are in a space where we are so much more intentional, we're so much more wise, we have so much more experience. Now we know for sure that we can create whatever woman we want to be, which means that you can create that woman that is going to attract the things that you want. So that's why it's so important to know, like you said, what type of man do you want to attract? What type of client do you want to attract? So super funny. One of the things that I got coming up is, how to attract what you want through your style, through the way that you dress, through the way you wear your hair, the way you walk, talk, all that. But here is the foundational challenge with that. We have been told that we should do things a certain way. Oh, you have to do it like this because the church said. You have to do it like this because school said, because mama said, auntie said, society said, this is the way that you have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in our wisdom, we know you are here, put here as an individual,
Mm-hmm.
as an authentic individual.
Mm-hmm.
That is like no one else. And you have to enhance that individual. You have to continue to become that particular person that is you. There's no one else that is like you. Of course, we adopt other things that we like. Oh, I like her hair. I like the way she dresses. But guess what? You can wear that same hairstyle and it not look anything like hers on her, like her on you, her style on you, the clothes, the color, the car you drive, the type of man. So, but because we were always given some sort of example that we thought was so much better than who we were and what we knew, right? We're trying to become something else that is not who we are. So going back to, and this is why I do what I do. This is why the whole image consulting thing was so deep rooted in me, is because I knew early on, although I could not articulate it, I knew early on it was so important for you to be who you are. Ooh. And to be your authentic self. Because I have friends who I have watched over the years just adopt this and adopt that and adopt that. Everything that's not authentic to them.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
And because they did not have a full identity. And that's probably from childhood issues, the way you were raised. Of course it was. Absolutely it was. So you're adopting everything that you know you don't want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because of what you saw maybe growing up. I don't want that for sure.
Yeah.
You know, and everyone can probably relate to that, right? To some degree.
Yeah.
My parents were like this, so I don't want to be like that.
Yes.
My neighborhood was like this. I don't want to see another neighborhood like that. You know, my friends, my siblings.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so important to do that deep work, get to your core self.
Yeah.
Because I'll give you an example. So for me, when I got into the image consulting, like I've always been kind of had a little edge to myself one way or the other. But I was never, ever really, truly satisfied with the way I dressed. I felt like just always something like, it's okay. It's okay. People are like, oh, you look so cute, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it's okay. Thank you. It's okay.
Yeah.
Well, when I really started to come into myself, probably more so in my 40s.
Yeah.
And I remember this story too. This is a good story for people to hear. And I love to be transparent about this. As an image consultant, I'm like, oh Lord, why would you put this kind of pressure on me? Especially when early on, when I was just doing hair and working in a salon and maybe managing a salon. Okay, you can throw on anything. Okay, you know, you just behind the chair doing hair. You're trying to make sure everyone else is beautiful. I moved to Atlanta. I go to the salon looking kind of regular. And I get there and I'm like, whoa. Dressed to the nines. Heels on, behind the chair, hair flat, just looking good. I said, whoa. Literally, the day I went in there and interviewed, girl, I had to go home and rethink everything and go shopping.
Other people say that about Atlanta too. Like they get here, they like, wait. This is how we operate. Okay.
It was a different type of pressure because back in Dayton, I wore jogging suits every day, jogging suits and Reeboks, you know, to be comfortable. And I would wear different colors. We didn't really wear black, you know, every day. We just wore whatever, got up, threw on whatever, just as long as I'm getting all these heads knocked out. Yeah. But when I got here, honey, I was like, you mean I got to be fly every day? Ooh, wee. So there was a lot of pressure, but it advanced me and took me to another level, which was another proof to me. This is why I want to do image consulting, because this was me going through a transformation. You know, like, oh, I got to change the game. I'm up for it and I got it in me. I just have never, ever looked fly every day going to work doing hair. So
I can see how that
black. Black alone helped that. Black is just like wearing all black is professional. It's streamlined. It just keeps you looking polished, right? So I adopted the black wardrobe, okay, because of the beauty industry. That's what we wear. Yeah. All right. And whenever I have jobs, when I send my stylists out, when I send my team out, all black. And this is a corporate event. So it's corporate. Make sure you can still be fly. Yeah. But just be sure you are not wearing leggings and a t-shirt. Yeah. If you're wearing leggings and a t-shirt, put on a blazer. Yeah. Polish it up, put that makeup on, just be appropriate. So one thing for me, when I was trying to re-identify myself from hairstylist behind the chair, hustling to image consultant, I kind of lost myself because I was trying to go so corporate. Gotcha. Such a corporate look, which wasn't me. Okay. But it was a professional. It wasn't horrible, but it was just, professional. Yeah. And I'm not quite that professional all the time. I'm professional with an edge. So something I had to identify, like I'm always wearing black. So it's going to be different looks and styles at different times. A photo shoot, I get to be as fly as I want to be in my black, right? I could wear a crop top with some high waist pants, or I could wear a sheer top with a tank under it, camisole, something. Yeah. I could be a little more edgy and free. Well, I got that down. I figured that part out. Okay. I figured this is something that was huge for me, since I'm not quite sure what I got to look like each day. And I know I'm in black. The black can be a little boring. You got to do what you got to do to make sure that's where you want it to be. I said, I'm going to have to make my hair my signature. Oh, okay. So even if I am at the salon all day, every day in a t-shirt and some leggings, I'm going to have my hair fly. If I'm running to the store in all black in a jogging suit, my hair has to be fly. Like there has to be something signature. So what is that saying about me? This is my style. I have an edge to me. I'm always going to wear like a streak. My hair was purple for years, like a deep purple. And I would go into corporate America and they loved it because I was suited up professionally. Yeah. But then I had my purple hair. That is what made me stand out, and that's what felt good to me. Yeah. Right. And also I was comfortable. I was so comfortable in that. And then I noticed the type of man that I was attracting. Right. So I knew at that point, like any man that would approach me, he liked my hair and he liked my style. And that's the first thing he would say. Oh, I like your style. I like your hair. I love the way you dress. And I realized I would like the way he dressed too. And then my girlfriends would try to hook me up with people, and they would hook me up with people like, ooh, I work with this guy, girl. He is so fly. I think you should meet him. I met a guy like that through one of my really good girlfriends. She hooked us up. We dated for 5 years. Oh, yeah. So there is a methodology to this thing, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So I want you to be very intentional about the way that you dress, the way that you wear your hair, the way that you smell, right? Yes. Even when you are in the workplace, you want to be intentional about that. You don't want to be loud. You can have a soft scent, but you also don't want to have some sort of sexual scent either. You know what I'm saying? It's a sexual, sensual scent. Yeah. So be careful about things like that too. You wonder why all the men are coming over here on you. Well, you got this scent on you that's attracting them. Right. So these are serious matters. Yeah. So think about the perfumes that you're wearing. And that's a secret, one of our secrets. Ladies,
I've
if you know,
honestly
you
never
know.
thought about it. I've never thought about like what scent is more sexual and sensual and what scent is not. That I never thought about it.
It's
That's
a
so funny.
thing. And you should test it sometimes. You should
Okay.
test it because it
Okay.
works. Essential oils and stuff like that. Like when I tell you, and I'm not about to give up all the secrets, but ladies, if you know, you know, these are private conversations that we have in the private groups. Okay. Activate your abundance and the feeling good as hell.
Got you.
But yeah, it matters. So you want to be careful. You know, men are very easily distracted.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're trying to have a professional meeting and you got this scent on over here and wonder why this man can't stay focused on the mission, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
He can't focus.
Yeah. And let me I'm gonna fuss a little bit. Because I was talking to, this was one of my girlfriends one time, and she said something inappropriate in the conversation with the man, which then opened the door. And so then he started saying inappropriate things to him. And now she wondering, well, why he treating me like that? Well, why did you say that comment? Like she said something like, you know, give me the side chick price or something like that. Something she thought was joking, but okay. You interested in being a side chick? And so
you can't play with him like that.
You can't. Now you wonder why he treating you like you a new possible side chick. Exactly. You open that door.
The door.
Be careful in those corporate conversations, in those business conversations, that you keep them business.
Yeah.
Just that. Then that's just me fussing because I was like, what? Okay.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And keeping what you're doing. Mm-hmm.
Yes, for sure. And keeping it business is on all lines. What you're wearing, how you're smelling.
Yep.
You know, the makeup that you're wearing, how you wear your hair. You know, all this stuff is distracting. You got all this right here in a business meeting, all this right here going on, ladies. All this, no. No. No.
I don't know if I thought about that either. So
no. This thing, this image thing is real.
Right.
You go in there, you tame that hair. If you want to be taken serious, you tame that hair and you put it in place.
Okay. All right. I hadn't thought about that either.
It's a method. It's a method to all this. Even when you're meeting with women, you know, another woman who may be interviewing you or meeting with you, she's gonna look at certain things as well.
That's true.
You have to know, you know, what you're up against. And that's why it's so important to get with the younger women.
Yeah.
Because what they wear to the club, sometimes they wear right to the church and right to the meeting. I hear it all the time and it's unreal. Like, are you serious? Yeah. Well, the young men and women, they think that they can go to an interview in jeans and a shirt that's not tucked in or buttoned up and ironed and crisp, you know?
So I will say there are some more companies that are more liberal these days. And so every company isn't a Georgia Power or IBM. Like you definitely have to do that. And so know your audience. This is the same thing, know your audience.
Yeah.
But there's still an amount of professionalism. Like I remember before I even got into therapy and coaching, you go pay her insurance payment. And clearly she was in black and white. She was going to an interview, but her earrings were down to her shoulders. And I remember sitting there thinking the whole time, am I my sister's keeper or not? Do I tell her those are not the right earrings for the interview?
Yeah.
Oh, and I did. And she got mad at me. And so, but I was like, baby, I can't let you go into an interview with clearly you're dressed for an interview, black and white, and your earrings are down to your shoulders and loud. Like you had it all except for that. And so all of those things matter. Like
they matter.
Those things matter and how people perceive you and take you in. And so just giving it a little thought and thinking about it. And one thing I want to pivot the conversation a little bit because one of my mentors told me this, my first mentor, Tom. And Tom said, Natalie, when you get the business together, then you'll see your personal life fall into place. And I was like, right, really? Why? But I think when the business is crazy, we're crazy. And so when we get the business in line, Then we start to calm down. We can like take our head up and look around. We can think about, how am I presenting to the world? What am I attracting?
Yeah.
There's a little bit more space. So I have found that to be true. So if anybody out there right now was like in the middle of the building phase of the business, like you still trying to get a consistent client flow in, like you are still actively building every day.
Yeah.
Then just understand your partner is probably not going to come right now. Get the business to a better place where you can breathe a little bit. You can enjoy a concert, like you can just live, and then that partner will come into play.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's real. It is a real thing. But if you think about it, mm-hmm. when you're building business, like that's your whole life. Like that's your livelihood, mm-hmm. especially if you're a single person.
Especially if you're a single person.
So something that, has really come so clear for me lately is, a lot of people are kind of reckless with their personal life and their dating and all that. And then you wonder why your business isn't in place, right? Mm. So it's like you have to think about, if you're wasting time out here dating randomly, seeing random people, and then some random person that hurt your feelings, or somebody you're dating who isn't, full in, has hurt your feeling, and you're wondering and wishing and hoping and praying, you're taking time away from your business and building your livelihood. You're not putting yourself first. Sometimes we think the relationship is more important, and I'm speaking from like a dating standpoint, like just a dating, trying to find, standpoint. It's like, if you're out there random and that's got you distracted from your business and handling your business, you're not putting yourself first. When you could be putting that time into your business, or saying, hey, I'm going to go on one date this week. I'm going to go on one date next week. I'm not giving this random man that has come in all this time. You know what I mean? Like, I have to prioritize. And I think that shows him something too. A lot of times people are like, well, I'm going to prioritize him. I'm going to go ahead. He's calling, so I'm going to go. I think you'll put a lot of things in place if you make sure you keep your business and your priorities first, because that's just dating. And that's a whole nother topic. I know that's a whole other thing, but it just came to me like, those are the conversations that I hear. People are getting distracted from their businesses. And I think that they don't think that dating is distracting, or finding a partner is distracting. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They don't equate it to what you're not accomplishing in business. You know what I mean? If I go on a date with you,
oh my God, this is so distracting. Please know that it's so distracting.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
I'm constantly thinking about, like, if somebody want to go on a date or hang out, I'm thinking about, well, you probably got a job and a paycheck coming in. You know what I'm saying? You can go on a date. And then I'm thinking about, well, how long is it going to be? Right. Because I always have something to do.
Yeah.
I always have something to do. So I'm still at a state where I feel like, I don't know, because I sure need to be working on this website. I sure need to be working on this program. I sure need to be working on this event.
So I think a lot of it is about timing and seasons, and knowing what season you're in, and knowing the timing of everything. And so if you are still probably actively building, then that's probably not the time for you to actively be building a relationship, because everything that you build is going to take time. There's no, I'm a haphazardly build this and haphazardly build that. And I think specifically with the relationship, you want to build it on a strong foundation. You want to build it to last. And so you want to give it the time and attention it requires to build.
Yeah.
And so I heard this pastor say something one time, and I was like, really? But now that I'm a therapist and I've seen some things that make sense. And he was saying that first year of marriage, don't take on any new projects.
Mm.
And like just keep like just focus on being married. And
Yeah.
and I think
Wouldn't that be
when I
nice?
heard it, I was like, my life don't stop moving just because I get married. So, but now I think I understand, like giving everything its time to kind of percolate and settle in and then figure it out and then figure out what you can add on and how you need to add it. So I think that was really, really good wisdom there, especially the older that I've gotten. I've seen it. Just that. And so when you think about your life with intention, and yeah, I'm huge on the 10-year plan, the 20-year plan, looking at your whole lifespan and figuring out, okay, when is the best time for me to concentrate on this? When is the best time for me to concentrate on that? I'm huge on that. I really think you should lay your life out until age 100. And not that you really know what you're going to be doing at 90 or 80 or 70 or maybe even 60, but if you can start to think about it in stages, in decades, then it gives you a little bit more freedom to say, okay, this decade, I'm going to concentrate on making the money, getting what I need to get in the bank, and getting myself to a financial place. This decade, I'm going to focus on building my family or building my relationships or building da-da-da-da. This decade, I'm gonna focus on educating and reinvigorating myself, or what? Like kind of looking at it like that and realize that this is a marathon, not a sprint. And so that we can spread things out and give everything its due time, like its due time. And so some of you guys, and right now I'm probably preaching to myself, have been wondering, like, why is this not working out? Why is this not working out? Why is this not working out? And I want you to take a step back and look at it. Is now really the right time? And so I remember one of my girlfriends, she really wanted to quit her job, but that particular job was allowing her to do everything she needed to do for her sick child at that time. And so I was like, let's take a step back and figure out, is really now, even though I understand you don't like the job, is really now the time when you got all of this thing going on with your baby, the time for you to quit this job, because this job allows you to make all your doctor's appointments. If you start another job, and she's in my generation, so when we start new jobs, we usually don't do nothing for the first 90 days except work the job. We don't take off, we don't do that. And so we really kind of dedicated, and I would even say the first year, so that's the kind of Gen X kind of work mentality. And so you're not going to want to take off. And so really take a step back. And so I know you want some things to move and some things to change and some things like I'm stuck and I can't move this forward, that I can't get this to work out. So take a step back and say, okay, was that time? Was that the time? It's not really the time. It's not really the time. I think I'm getting ready to do, if I have any time today, and I might just have to stay up and get it done tonight, is really write out my visualization, what I want for my life over the next, probably write this visualization out because I want some big things to come to pass. So it'll probably take about three years. And so I'm gonna write that visualization out for like 3 years in the future. And then, because writing out the visualization is one thing. And then I have to go through it to have a friend go through it to make sure I don't have any negatives in there. Because every now and then you'll write a story and you'll put something crazy in there. Like, let's see, something crazy. What would be, you wouldn't, like, I finally had a client that paid my full fee. So the tone of that is like, it sounds a positive, but the tone of that is like that there was a lot of work and it almost never got done. So you get in your visualization. I'm so excited that I have clients contacting me every day willing to pay my fee. But see, the energy of that is just different. And so after you write a visualization, and if anybody doesn't have a current visualization, I'm gonna challenge you, like I'm challenging myself, to get that thing done today. Because I was just I'm in the process of rereading Think and Grow Rich. And it just reminded me of how important visualization is. And I was like, God, no, I never got it's March. I still ain't got my visualization done. And then the next thing is then getting it into my daily routine to where I'm listening to it every day. Like listen to it every day. So I have some other things my affirmations I do every day. I pray every day. I don't pray on the weekends. I'm working on that. I ain't got that weekend morning routine yet. But adding that visualization in. So, okay. That's all I have to say. What else?
So I would like to say something that's really frustrating about what you just said is you realize that in your 40s that, oh, I should have planned by the decade.
That's a good time.
I'm almost halfway through. But the beauty is in it, you've come so far.
Yeah.
You might have came through the wild, wild west.
Yeah.
You might have came through the wild, wild west, but you came this far and you are where you are today with so much wisdom, so much knowledge, resources, tools, connections. So start here, and like you're saying, planning. Okay, so you might start with the year.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 2 years and then the 5 year, because, I've always been a little frustrated when someone would say, what's your 5-year plan?
Mm-hmm.
What's your plan? And, I really didn't have a clear one because I was probably in struggle mode, just trying to figure it out.
Where this came from. So where this came from for me was I would be working with clients and they would feel like I got to get everything done right now because I'm running out of time. I got to get out. I got to all run, and I'm running out of time, and I don't have no time. And I'm in this, so that it, like the woman who she's trying to get her PhD. She got 5 kids under the age of 5. She working a full-time job, and she want to start a business, and she's married. And so, why are you trying to do everything right now? Well, I'm out of time, and I'm so old. I'm 37. Wait a minute, you 37?
Right.
And so I needed a way to help them spread everything out.
Yeah.
And so then that's why I started asking people to plan out the rest of your life, because baby, you at 37, you just passed over the quarter-mile mark. And so therefore, breathe and stop thinking everything has to be done right now, yesterday. And so then after that, I heard T.D. Jakes, and he preached a sermon about looking at your life in decades. Then on top of that, Dan Sullivan started talking about living out the next 100 quarters of your life and thinking about what do you need to do each quarter and planning lightly, because 100 quarters is 25 years away, but planning lightly on where the trajectory, but just knowing that you have time.
Yeah.
You have time to get it all done. And so that's where that came from, just wanting my women not to feel all of the pressure that they were putting themselves under. So if you got 5 kids under 5, just be a mom right now. Just focus on feeding your babies. And if you got 5 under 5, that is a full-time job.
Yeah, absolutely. It is, isn't it?
For that, you can build a business when they all get in school. It ain't going nowhere. Clients ain't going nowhere. People always gonna need what they need.
Yeah.
And it's and so just giving yourself a little time, taking the pressure off. And I think a lot of that kind of comes from social media. But I see them and they're doing this, and I see them and they're doing this, and I'm supposed to be doing that. Baby, they don't nowhere near your circumstances.
Right.
You're looking at Kylie Jenner like she ain't got somebody to take care of all her kids. I don't even know if she has kids, but anyway, or whoever, or the Janet Jackson, she had a baby at 50. Again, you ain't got Janet Jackson's money. So what's gonna work for your life where you are right now? Figuring it out. And if you do got Janet Jackson's money, then yay you. And that does give you a little bit more freedom and agency. So
absolutely. And better decision making. On this side of life, if you made a decision to have 5 children, I would hope that you made a decision to pick a partner that would grace you with the ability to just raise the children and not have to be hustling. Trying to feed the children. You know what I'm saying? Trying to go out and make money. Now, I know we're multifaceted and we're, we can do many things. But even within that, is it something that you can still raise the children and not have to be in such a mode of having to make money, and not, it's important. Like, you created these children, you got to raise them right.
Right. And I think what kind of goes along with that is African-American women, the superwoman syndrome.
Yep.
Superwoman syndrome. And so I just noticed that even if we do have a partner to provide, some of us still feel like a pressure, like internal pressure, like I'm not doing enough and I need to be doing everything because everybody else is doing everything and I'm a failure if I'm not, and I saw my mama do everything. Okay, calm down. Calm down. Please calm down. And just figure out what's going to work best for you. What's going to work best for you. And you guys, and I want to say this about dating. I was thinking about this earlier because somebody said this recently and I was like, girl, hey. On my staff, I have a person who is a dating coach, and she was saying, y'all, dating is different today than it was from the baby boomers. She was like, do not listen to the baby boomers about any advice on dating. She was like, this world is completely different. Dating is completely different, and baby boomers don't know. They can't hang. They don't understand. And when she said that, I was like, she is right. Because most baby boomers will tell you don't meet nobody online. But what I know factually from doing a lot of premarital seminars is I'm going to say 75 to 8% of them couples met each other online.
Yeah, this day and time, yes.
So I'm also going to say baby boomers and their setup and their mentality and the way they live life allowed them to do things differently than it allows us to do things differently. Yeah. And so when I think about just something as simple as being on a job 30 years, that was a norm for most baby boomers.
Yes.
When you've been on your job 30 years, you are no longer using any mental energy to know that job. Everything is muscle memory. You've been doing it so long. And so most baby boomers, anybody who's been on a job 15, 30 years, you're not feeling the stress and learning new things like that mental capacity, like you're on muscle memory. So they have a lot more agency probably to do things outside of work than a lot of us do, because a lot of our jobs, if you change jobs every 5 to 7 years or every 5 to 10 years, which my generation does, then it's just a little less agency. And in my generation, they also like change houses every 5 to 7 years. Baby, ain't changing. And so you got to take that into account. If you are moving every 5 to 7 years, then take 6 months out for stress of moving, for stress of figuring out what toothpaste is now in this new house and setting it up that baby boomers don't have. And so, okay, I'm gonna stop fussing now.
No, but you're right. And to add to that, Natalie, a conversation I think I had with my bonus mother, like, that's how you see. So you got people working on jobs for 30 years who aren't using their muscle memory, right? Yeah. So they get bored, right?
Yeah.
So this is twofold. It's going to be two different things, right? So they get bored. That's how they end up doing drugs, alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
And maintaining it, so what is it called? They are
functional alcoholics,
functional drug addicts and alcoholics. I don't mean to be negative. I'm just saying
I think it's one of the most positive things it is. Like them baby boomers, they can do some stuff. Like
they can do it. And you know what they did? They didn't get divorced. They stayed together.
They stayed together. That's true.
They hung in there. They stayed. They stuck with whatever. So even if they were an alcoholic or a drug addict, baby, they retiring. And when they retire, they probably would go get another job.
They absolutely do. Because I have an uncle and aunt in that. So he worked at Goodyear till Goodyear retired him. And then he started working as a janitor at the school. Functional alcoholic.
Oh, and wasn't even thinking about that. And a lot of them went to the military. So a lot of them retired twice.
You're right.
Retired from the military and went and got a good factory job. Like, man, it is. And they are amazing people.
They are.
Who give us the advice that they give us, which isn't the advice we quite need today. It would make sense if we were in that world, but it's not where we are.
Different world.
It's
a different world. So listen, I think this is going to be a situation where I want you to, what the old people used to say, spit out the bones, like keep the meat, spit out the bones.
Yeah.
So I think when you listen to baby boomers, do that. They are due our respect because they got us to where we are today. But a lot of things that worked in their world don't work in our world like that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Around the world and back again. But I really
we did
conversation. I got something out of it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna relook at all my image stuff. Especially now that I've got the coaching website up. So I want to make sure.
Yeah. Well, I got something for all my peeps. Yeah, because and this is something I've been sitting on for way too long. And like now's the time, but it's just kind of an accountability of, where you are. But also I'm gonna give you the solutions because it's like it's that thing where you can do it with your eyes closed. And it's like, but you're not doing it for the people who can't do it for themselves. So yeah.
Okay. All right, wonderful people. We are gone and we wish you guys a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. And DM us if you have any questions. So you can hit Cherise up on Facebook. That's where she's bigger at. I'm bigger on LinkedIn. So hit me up on LinkedIn. I pay attention to LinkedIn every day.
I'm going to start.
And we are, girl, Facebook working for you, work it. There's no need to get another one if it ain't working for no, do it.
Well, I have a following on LinkedIn and I get leads on LinkedIn and I just don't play up there. Oh yeah.
What you on LinkedIn? Okay, I'm gonna come find you on LinkedIn.
So, yes, come find me on LinkedIn. Yeah.
All right. So everybody have a wonderful Tuesday. If you need us, reach out. That's what I was trying to say. If y'all need us, reach out. We're here, and we love you guys, and we want the best for you. We really
absolutely
do. So all right, bye, Cherise.
Have a good one.
You too.